engaging in physical activity with individuals diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Hello everybody, my name is Carlos Dantes, a current student at SJSU. I will be speaking throughout the video as well as be active in the demonstrations. Individuals who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD for short, have developmental difficulties in social interaction, communication, and cognition. It is believed that through physical activity, there are benefits that can decrease the deficits within these issues on top of counteracting the effects of a sedentary lifestyle. An issue more prevalent now due to the current conditions of the world dealing with COVID-19. The general benefits gained through physical activity have been reviewed and studied, but it wasn't until recent years that studies have been conducted overlooking the effects of physical activity applied towards special populations. The purpose of this video is to translate to you how to engage in physical activity with individuals with ASD through knowledge amassed from the IPAC courses at SJSU, reviewing multiple scholarly sources, and personal experience in order to help support you and whomever you interact with. This is all in an effort to expand on inclusive physical activity knowledge and shed light on the new possibilities for you and your loved ones at home. To further understand the individuals we will be working with, I will give you a short briefing on ASD. ASD is defined as a neurological and developmental disorder that begins early in childhood and lasts throughout a person's life. It affects how a person learns, acts, interacts, and communicates with others. ASD is an umbrella term which includes autistic disorder, Asperger's disorder, childhood disintegrative disorder, Rett's disorder, and pervasive developmental disorder. It is called a spectrum disorder because people with ASD can have a range of symptoms. The causes of ASD are not specified, but research suggests that both genes and environment are important factors. However, environment and the individual support network are what plays big roles in battling the negative effects of ASD. Currently, ASD does not have one standard treatment. There are many ways to increase the affected individual's ability to grow and learn new skills, and starting them early can lead to better results. So in the end, the information given today isn't a cure, but it sure will improve the quality of life for the individual. Before hopping straight into an activity, there are a few things you should think about. First and foremost is your approach. How will you catch their interest? Help maintain their participation, motivate them, and help them along the way when needed. When trying to engage in physical activity with kids to younger teens diagnosed with ASD, the more effective approach would be to use the idea of playing a game over working out. With older teens, you can tell them straightforward or by setting conditions. Which brings me to the next thing. For both, these conditions will be receiving positive reinforcements, which will in turn motivate them to participate. Positive reinforcement is any highly preferred item, activity, or action. It could be anything from sensory, such as tickles, to some kind of snack, to a preferred item, or to playing a preferred game. For example, things I've used for different individuals are YouTube, their own Chewy, Play-Doh, tickles, simple household items like a hanger, music, or story time. In the end, to each their own. So it's best if you spend a bit of time together and figure out what it is that makes them tick. Lastly, promoting independence is a bonus. This can be done by prompting tactics to help them along the way during the activity. When stuck, instead of explaining the whole activity over again or physically guiding them, using subtle prompts such as pointing gestures, partial physical prompting, or modeling the activity could help them along the way while still performing as independently as possible. The idea is, as they repeat, they begin to perform more, needing less and less prompts and understanding what is expected of them. When engaging in physical activity with an individual with ASD, fitness equipment and a fitness environment isn't a must. I think it's safe to assume a good amount of people are stuck at home during these times. It's entirely possible to be creative and set something up using things found around the house. So I'll grab and set out a few things that are available to me. So a few of the items I was able to grab were cones, an agility ladder, blue tape, red and green markers, a soccer ball, a small textured ball, poppets, blank die, Connect 4, puzzle, dominoes, electronic toy, a tablet, and my Nintendo Switch. Now the Connect 4, the puzzle, the dominoes, and the electronic toy are used for reinforcements. Everything else can be used for the physical activity portion. I'm picking a few items so I can show you what I would use them for. First is the blank die. I picked this up a while back from a dollar store. It allows for anything to be written on the sides using dry erase markers. I've gone ahead and filled each side with a workout. I can see the individual understanding what is expected of them based on what they rolled. It's simple and straightforward. Next is a tablet. Besides having games and apps on it that can be utilized as reinforcements, I like to use it as a visual timer for the individual. Visual timers are ideal in assisting with transitions, which can be especially difficult for those with ASD. Before starting the clock, I explain what is expected of them during that time and after time's up. Last and most importantly, blue tape. I utilize the blue tape as a visual aid. Visual aids can give the individual a sense of autonomy and allow them to make choices and express needs. They also help them comprehend daily rhythms and have input in their activities. But in this case, we use the visual aid to increase success and independence in the physical activity. Next is to have a plan. Don't expect to knock out a bunch of different physical activities back to back. Doing so might agitate, discourage, or frustrate the individual. Instead, integrate a balance between switching from a physical activity to a preferred activity and back again. That way they can stay motivated through positive reinforcement. It would also serve as an opportune moment to set up the next physical activity to keep things rolling. Those with ASD have trouble processing multiple instructions as a whole at once, so breaking down instructions into first then language would be best. Along with having the instructions given be concise, uninterrupted, and having a clear beginning, middle, and end. I've invited a friend of mine who's in his teens and diagnosed with ASD. With his participation, or not, I will demonstrate engaging in physical activity with an individual diagnosed with ASD. Afterwards, we will critique it.
Just two. 1, 2. 1, 2. Faster. Go. 1, 2. 2 steps. 1, 2. 1 foot. 1 foot. 1, 2. So go. This foot first. Yes. There we go. Keep going. Yep. Let's go. All right, we're gonna turn around. Come on, Chris. Let's hop the cones. I go first. Nice. Wrist jump. Let's go one more time, Chris. That's okay. Chris, one more time, bud. Over here. Remember? One leg in. One leg. 1, 2. Yeah, go. Keep going. Again. Let's go. Try to make it faster. Okay. Turn on next one. Let's do a jump. We'll go first. Nice. Go. Go. One last time.
Right off the bat, I already jumped the gun. I was encouraging him to increase his speed under the assumption of he fully understanding what was expected of him.
Just 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Faster. Go.
So once seeing him stuck, I gave him a few seconds to see if he could figure things out on his own. After that, I provided partial physical prompting, in which he better understood the action.
So go. This foot first. Yes. There we go. Keep going. Yep. Let's go.
After that, I modeled the action and went through it all with him. It wasn't to my knowledge until after that he doesn't regularly engage in physical activity outside of this. Despite being a beginner, he showed an increase in understanding, independence, speed, and success by the second trial.
Can we put the ball down right here? Nice. Okay, let's go through it again, bud. Right? How many times? 2 or 3 times? All done? Okay, can we do 2 times and then we're all done? 2 times, so let's go. Yeah, 1 foot at a time. Nice. Ooh, okay. Faster. 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 Oh, Chris, let's go. We still got our jumps. Let's go. Nice. Last one. Let's go. All right, last lap. Last lap. All right? Give me a 5, bud. Cool. Come on. 2 legs in. Very last one, and then we're all done. Let's go. 1, 2. 2. Yep. Yeah. Keep going. Awesome job. Let's go, Chris. Nice. We're cool. Chris, I'm gonna clean up the ladders. Could you help me pick up the cones? Yeah.
As you can see in the second trial, movement through the obstacle was way more fluent, as well as he only required one type of prompting: modeling. Communication was also amazing. On his behalf, he let me know that he wanted to be done. I asked him to do 2 more laps, reminding him of the reinforcement that comes afterwards, and he complied. This was the layout for the activity. I utilized the ladder, cones, and blue tape. The blue tape set out as arrows to be visual aid stating which direction to move in, but it wasn't necessarily needed yet as I modeled the activity right beside him. It did, however, deepen his understanding. As he becomes more independent and I stop modeling for him, it will have more of an effect.
Nice. Alright, let's get started.
This current clip is his reinforcement. Luckily for us, he took a liking to the Just Dance video game on my Nintendo Switch, where in itself keeps the gamers pretty active.
Alright, Chris, let's dance. Hands up. Chris, check out what they're doing. Up here, again. Okay. You know the chicken dance? Look, they're doing the chicken.
Furthermore, in this reinforcement activity, I wasn't too worried about him accurately playing the game. I did persuade him to move around a bit more, but ultimately this is his reinforcement. It's his time away from me telling him what to do.
Spin with me. Again.
On this day, he was cooperative enough and motivated enough to the point where we were able to engage in physical activity for quite a while, then received reinforcement after it all. On this next day that I'm about to show, he was more expressive and adamant on not wanting to continue physical activity after a short while. So I incorporated reinforcement in between every few trials of physical activity to help motivate him through the activities.
Check it out, Chris. I got this really cool dice. Look here. We got ladders, jumping jacks, cone hops. Okay, can you roll it?
So if I've gained his attention and I've used the play over workout approach, sort of by disguising the workout behind the whole gesture of let's play with this dice, so that in the end he doesn't see it as something so serious and more lighthearted, if anything.
Ready, Chris? We're gonna roll. Yeah. And we got, whoa, ladders. All right, cool. We're gonna do the same.
It's only been a few times that he's gone through this exercise now, and as you see here, he's already gained independence with very little prompting needed.
Come here. Time to roll the dice again. Let's go.
Wow, that's a new game. I like the colors. Chris.
Chris, let's throw it.
I like the colors.
Nice. Let's see what we got. Okay. We're going to get on the ground, Chris. Nice. All right.
Oh, good job.
We're going to go one. Up. Nice. Put other hand on the ground. Yeah. Now, next hand. Up. Just one. Both hands on the ground, Chris. Can you move forward a bit? Here.
So here, I've made the mistake of forgetting to set out the visual aid. Earlier, you can see how he was not quite understanding what was expected of him. So I'm setting out the blue tape at the moment. And then you'll get to see the immediate impact it has on the activity.
My Christian is smart. He knows how to follow the direction. Good job, Chris. Good job. Good job.
All right, Chris. Try this again, bud. Chris, let's get down. Knees on the blue. Nice. Let's scoot forward. Your knees, bud, let's put them on the blue spots. Your hands go on these blue spots. Okay? So let's scoot forward. Chris, hands over here, bud. There we go. That one too. Okay, let's scoot forward. Awesome. Okay, Chris, ready? We're gonna go right hand up. Forward. Just reach forward. Awesome. Next. Go again. Nice. Remember, let's put our hands back on the blue spots. Cool, that one there too. Ready, Chris? Go. Go. Next, reach out. Reach forward. Awesome. Two more. One. Last one. Two. Good job, Chris.
After a short while, it was time for the first reinforcement to be received in order to keep up motivation and cooperation. For his reinforcement, he requested a word search on the tablet, which is one of his favorite activities. For this, I've used a visual timer to help initiate the transition away from the preferred activity and back to the non-preferred, which in this case is the exercise. The clock is off screen, but you'll see him constantly looking up to check up on it.
We're gonna get up, bud. We're gonna put our talker on the couch. Awesome. Here is our dice. Here you go. Roll it, champ. Let's roll the dice. Ooh, ladders. All right.
Here, we're going to go through the ladders again, but in a different way. Even though he hasn't mastered the last way we've done the ladders, I want to continue to challenge him a bit. Even though I didn't set a timer for this activity, he constantly checks the clock, a sign he's getting anxious for this type of activity to end.
Nice. We're moving sideways. All right. Chris, I see you looking at the clock. Come on. Same direction. We're going back. Check it out. see how fast we can go. Let's turn around, bud. This way. Nice.
No looking at the clock.
Yeah. All right. So let's roll it. Cool. Here we go. We got jumps. Chris, we're gonna jump.
Here is another display of increased independence. The two-footed cone hops used to be an activity where I modeled the activity right beside him all the way through it. And now, he only needs model prompting in the very beginning. And pointing gestures are enough of a prompt to support him along the way.
All right, Chris.
Nice job,
Last
Chris.
roll.
Nice job. Good follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Chris, let's
good.
roll the dice.
I'm sure by now you've noticed Grandma's encouragement in the background. This shows a strong support network. Earlier this year, a study called Examining the Relationship Between Parent Physical Activity, Support Behavior, and Physical Activity Among Children and Youth with Autism Spectrum Disorder. This researches the factors associated with ASD at the individual and environmental level. They found that parent support is a determinant of physical activity among youth with ASD. The findings showed that parents' intentions to provide physical activity are what brings it about. Family support is an amazing thing to have. I understand it could get noisy and instructions will not come across clear, concise, and uninterrupted, but he seems to already know what was expected of him for the most part. The enthusiasm and encouragement from family can be motivating, especially since we're nearing the end of the activity that may seem to him to be dragging on for quite a while. Leaving off on that note, you can see my approaches to engage in physical activity with my friend was not perfect. I've been regularly working with individuals diagnosed with ASD for the past 3 years now. I can tell you that each new day presents a different challenge. Have patience, be flexible, and let out your enjoyment. There will be days that aren't a success, maybe even the exact opposite. Don't feel discouraged. Even the simple intent to engage in physical activity with the individual has positive effects. Hello again, thanks for sticking through this lengthy video with me. I hope the information and demonstrations provided have given you a better understanding and engaging in physical activity with individuals with ASD. I simply want you, your friend, your family, your client, whoever you care for, to be healthy and have fun during these times. Nobody should be left out. So let's all go and engage in some inclusive physical activity.